Today I'm going to be talking about the superhero movie genre, and the fans and the fandoms that take part in the decision making by the production companies. First, let's start off and talk about what actually is a fandom. We can all be fans of something, but fandoms take their love for something to the next level. Fandoms are a group of people that share common interests, whether that be a movie, a show, a book. In this case, it's going to be the superhero movies, whether that be Marvel or DC. Fandoms will even go out and they'll make their own fan art, which is created content which uses the original content. Let's say they use characters from a certain movie and they make their own little storyline behind it. They can make their own artwork that depicts stuff that hasn't happened in the actual movie universe, but it's their own little creation, and they can share this with other members of that fandom. This is a great way for fans to have a participatory culture with the actual studio or with whatever content they are a fan of. But sometimes it can take it to the next level, and that's a bad thing. Some content creators, like movie studios, listen to what the fans are saying. Sometimes a lot, sometimes not enough. In this video, I'm going to explain how some movie studios get it and others simply don't. This is going to be a little difficult to explain, but I'm going to try and do my best here. There are mainly two superhero comic book franchises. There's DC, which is Batman, Superman, and the Justice League, and then there's Marvel, Iron Man, Wolverine, X-Men, Avengers. The interesting thing with Marvel is they've sold the rights to a lot of their characters to many different studios, two of the main ones being Fox and Sony. What's interesting here is all the movies that are created within Fox, Sony, and Marvel have primarily been completely separate storylines. So you won't be seeing an Avengers team up with the X-Men. Yes, the greatest of it all, the MCU, Marvel Disney. These are probably the movies you've heard of the most. The Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy. They really haven't had a flop yet. All their movies have done really well. Disney's Marvel listens to the fans, but they also don't. President of Marvel, Kevin Feige, says they try not to listen to fans because their opinions are constantly changing. He says that movie studios have an idea of where they're going. Fandom should probably try and stay out of it and let the studios do their job. Now, Kevin Feige will still listen to the fans, but that doesn't mean it wasn't already part of his plan. For example, fans wanted a Black Panther movie. Black Panther is pretty much the first on-screen black superhero that we've ever had. He's popular in the comics and fans wanted him. So what did Marvel do? They put him in Captain America: Civil War, and now he has his own standalone movie coming out next year. This is the right way to deal with fandoms. Henry Jenkins actually brings up a point saying, allowing consumers to interact with media under controlled circumstances is one thing. Allowing them to participate in the production and distribution of cultural goods on their own terms is something else altogether. See, that's where DC comes in. They're giving them complete control. Like I said earlier, DC and Warner Brothers is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Justice League. So we all know the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series, which was really well. In order to keep up with Marvel and the MCU, they wanted to make a team-up movie as well, the Justice League. To start off this brand new universe, they started off with Man of Steel, which did okay in the box office, but then their next movie was Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. A team-up movie for their second movie in this universe might seem a little rushed, but the MCU had already had over 10 movies made, and if they wanted to keep up with them, they were going to have to act quick.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Unfortunately, the movie did not do well. A lot of fans said it was too dark, and they didn't really have fun when watching it. What did Warner Brothers do then? They went to director David Ayer of the movie Suicide Squad, which was coming out only a few months after Batman vs. Superman. It needed to be less dark and more humorous, because this was the big thing that fans were saying. Unfortunately, Suicide Squad, after all the reshoots, didn't do any better. There were a bunch of jokes added in that didn't make sense. The movie is about villains, so you can't really make them lovable. They should be dark, whereas Superman should be seen as a good guy. So now DC's in a problem where they don't know where they're going. Even Ben Affleck, the new Batman, he doesn't want to be in the universe anymore.
But they gotta be psyched because Daddy's gonna be Batman now.
That's
The rumor is they're going to rebrand the entire franchise after Justice League. Basically blow it up and start from scratch, which is unfortunate because in my opinion Ben Affleck is the best on-screen Batman we've ever had. We just haven't seen enough of him. But again, this is an example of where studios are listening too much to the fandoms. Yeah, Batman vs. Superman was dark, but that doesn't mean you have to make Suicide Squad, which is supposed to be dark, lighter and humorous. Hopefully they can figure it out within the next few years. X-Men movies have been around for a while now, and they're actually starting to pick up even more interest with releases like Deadpool, even more recently Logan. Deadpool is an interesting case with the fandoms. Fox wasn't planning on ever doing a Deadpool movie. The fans wanted it though. He's a favorite character of a lot of fans, and there was a little tease of him in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, but fans didn't like that at all. Fox butchered the character. So Ryan Reynolds came up and made his own little test footage of what his take on his own Deadpool movie would be like. And it got leaked by who knows what on YouTube. All the fans saw it and loved it. The studio saw how much interest it got on YouTube. They put up the money to make a Deadpool movie. Now, they didn't give him a lot of money. Fox only gave a budget of around $60 million to create this movie. The end result of it at the box office was $363 million. That's a huge profit. They knew Deadpool was a hit, so they've signed Ryan Reynolds on for multiple movies for him being Deadpool. The fans wanted Deadpool. The studio gave it a chance. It worked, so they're listening to the fans. Did they give him complete creative control? No. Sony is interesting. That's probably the best way to describe what's going on over at Sony. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, which is one of the most popular superheroes out there, up next to Batman or Superman. Now, Spider-Man is a Marvel comic, but that character is owned by Sony for the movie rights. The first 3 movies they made starred Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 3 didn't do so well. Oh, look out, Peter Parker, here he comes. He's got a black suit, new dance moves. Oh, and look at that comb over. Yeah, not so hot. So, they trashed the franchise. They made a new movie, The Amazing Spider-Man, which starred Andrew Garfield. Did alright. Fans seemed to like it, so they went out and they went for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh no. No! Ah!
Once again, fans didn't like it. Now here's where things get interesting. Disney's Marvel and Sony's Marvel have come to an agreement. They're renting out Spider-Man to Disney Marvel movie, and Sony can have use of some Disney Marvel characters, like Iron Man, who's appearing in Spider-Man Homecoming. The new Spider-Man played by Tom Holland has already appeared in Captain America Civil War. Fans loved this new Spider-Man.
Captain? Big fan of Spider-Man?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Just...
Hey, everyone.
Granted, he hasn't had a lot of screen time, maybe 20 minutes, but it's gotten people really excited for this new Spider-Man movie. This kind of goes back, though, to what the fans want and what they don't want. Fans have wanted Spider-Man to be in the Avengers movies since the Avengers were formed. And now they've got what they wanted, thanks to Sony and Marvel teaming up. So Sony, even though you didn't do so well with those past few Spider-Man movies, I salute you for finally coming to your senses and joining the MCU. So let's kind of go back. Fox are giving the fans what they want with Deadpool. Not that they're giving them creative control like DC movies are, but they're giving them the movies that they want made. DC is listening to the fans too much. Fandoms cause reshoots of Suicide Squad and Justice League now. I don't know where the DC Expanded Universe is going, but hopefully it goes somewhere sweet with Justice League or any movie afterwards. Sony and Marvel have finally teamed up, giving the fans what they want, but Marvel and Kevin Feige have claimed that they know what the fans want. Which, he hasn't been wrong, all the movies have been home runs. So what have we learned here? Take a lesson from Kevin Feige. The film studios know what they're doing. If they mess up, they mess up. But don't go crazy on them, they'll try and fix it. Hopefully fandoms realize the strength that they have over these studios, specifically Warner Brothers. If they want a good DC or Justice League movie, they should probably just start to keep their mouth shut. If the movie studios rely heavily on these fandoms, eventually the movies will become sloppy, and that'll cause the end of the genre altogether. We're in a wave of great superhero movies right now, and I don't want that wave to come crashing down and end it for good. Like I said, fan fiction on a small scale, that's fine, but movie studios shouldn't allow fandoms to dictate the outcome of a multi-million-dollar industry.